All the inspiring speakers before me, and good morning, greetings of peace to everybody. Well, I will not dwell too much into describing the existential threats the world is facing. It has been proven time and again with scientific evidence that human actions are the determining factors behind the three planetary crises we are facing: the climate crisis that everybody has been talking about, the nature and biodiversity crisis, and the pollution and waste crisis. Of course, somebody might ask, how about the pandemic crisis? Well, the science says that this pandemic and 75% of the previous ones and more to come are part of the biodiversity crisis due to the imbalance that we humans have created in our ecosystems. The world has responded to the pandemic with immediate, harsh, sometimes, and drastic measures by closing airports, schools, businesses, and other measures that have altered the way we live or we used to live, including, of course, how we perform our spiritual practices. But the international community has failed to take similar measures to deal with the climate pandemic. We are facing these crises because of our greed to use our limited natural resources for our unsustainable immediate wants and not our sustainable needs. Prioritizing nature's conservation and recovery is essential to the health and well-being of the people and the health and sustainability of the planet. This is why investing in nature-based solutions is a moral duty for the entire humanity. But protecting nature is not only about humans. We also have a moral duty to protect every living being on it and conserve their non-living habitats. This is a duty that is integral to every faith and belief system. The solutions to our challenges is embedded in our own behaviors and the set of ethical and spiritual values we live by. Religions teach us to live gently on earth, to fight corruption of its resources. So how can we build a better future or the future we want? While indeed technology, innovation, policies, green economy, sustainable financing, a divestment from environmentally harmful industries and resources, and many other measures are very important and should be pursued by all of us, be it governments or stakeholders, I would like to focus on measures that we can and should do as faith communities. First, faith and religious leaders can influence the behavior of billions of people. A heart-to-heart teaching by a religious leader on a subject matter hits the precise nerve in our brains needed to impact a behavioral change. Religions and beliefs for centuries have influenced what we eat, what we drink, and what we dress. Faith provides a value system that tells us to do good and to avoid evil, follow the right path and avoid the wrong footprints. Environmental sciences, on the other hand, tells us what diet can harm the environment. So science tells us that eating a burger consumes 660 gallons of water, while a bowl of salad consumes only 20 gallons. Similarly, religions encourage us to have a healthy diet based on vegetables and fruits more than on meat and dairy products. Faith and science thus need to work in sync. Our traditional knowledge and practices of living in harmony with nature can be backed up by the scientific evidence on how to use the solar energy, not only to light our homes, but also to dry and preserve our food, fight diseases, and get the necessary vitamins we need for our bodies without introducing harmful chemicals to our ecosystems. Second, harness the economic power of religions. God says in the Holy Quran, and I quote, "God will not change anything in any nation until they change it themselves," end of quote. So faith-based organizations and institutions can lead the change themselves by greening their own assets. Faith-based investment institutions are the fourth largest economic power on the planet. Faith-based organizations must divest from fossil fuel and put their wealth into investments that ensures a green and nature-positive future. Already, over 40 faith-based organizations with over $1 trillion in assets have committed to divestment. But that is not enough. The economic power of faith or faiths turned to responsible investment and green economy can be a major driver of positive change as well as build back better. There are over 100 million houses of worship, be it mosques, churches, temples, and what have you. Green building principles must be applied to reduce the impact of houses of worship in places and those yet to be built, from installing green roofs for natural cooling to switching to renewable energy to recycling waste and water. Third, faith communicates can provide nature-based solutions to socioeconomic challenges. Climate resilience is a term not strange to the faith communities, and there are many examples of how faith communities were the first responders that supported entire villages after the tsunamis in relying on nature-based solutions for better sustainable livelihoods. Many nature-based solutions draw upon traditional knowledge and practices. With a well-developed strategy and a deep understanding of local ecosystems, organizations can contribute to these processes. Nature-based solutions should be employed not only to protect existing ecosystems, but restore previously degraded ones. Fourth, interfaith and multilateralism are our strength. With diversity in religions comes our strength. When we meet for prayers in the houses of worship, we feel a sense of community and belonging. Intra and interfaith collaboration brings out the best each faith can offer and ensures peace and prosperity. Establishing the proposed Faith for Earth Coalition by UNEP will bring faith organizations together and create partnerships with intergovernmental organizations, states, and other stakeholders, a powerful coalition for a sustainable tomorrow. We need a new normal that is inclusive, where the 1 billion people who go to bed every night have food on their table, and that the 30% of food we waste is treated as a resource to be used. We need a future that we can proudly say it is the Ecocene and not the Anthropocene, where humans are the main factors impacting life on Earth. We need a future that not only respects human rights, but also respects the rights of nature. Thank you very much.